Are you tired of being inaccurate to your team?
Rusty Leaf, you're the worst ever.
Yeah, fuck you, Rusty Leaf, you twat.
Do you want to be able to drop high kill games regularly? That's a pretty good game. 23-0. Lawless.
Nice hacks done there.
Or maybe you want to clutch up to impress that gamer girl who's in your lobby.
We got the bomb.
Hand cannon available.
Only one hostile remains. Hunt them down.
Yeah. Just casually squad wipe while having a conversation with me.
What the fuck?
Sorry?
That was
Squad wipe
fucking
while talking to
insane.
me. How do you do that?
Well, you have clicked on the right video. Make sure to watch them to the end, as you definitely have not thought of at least one of these. Especially look out for tip number 4. These tips should be useful for both new and experienced players, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. That was disgusting. So these tips apply to every Call of Duty game. I play both Vanguard and Cold War, so I guess my examples are going to come from gameplays from those two games, but it can apply to, yeah, Modern Warfare, Black Ops 4, everything beforehand. Okay, for tip number 1, we're going to start off with something that is pretty obvious, but I guess if you're a new player, then you should know that you should use the right setup. There are a ton of content creators out there who are posting the class setup that they would recommend. I myself, every so often, will release a updated video for what I think you should use. So I'll leave a couple of those videos in the description below in case you are interested. As a general rule of thumb, you should use, I guess, Ninja or Dead Silence, because everybody has a headset these days. You can get a headset for 30 euros or less even. I mean, they're not the best quality, but you can still hear footsteps quite well. I guess it doesn't apply as much in Vanguard, but in Cold War and in previous ones it was way more essential. But yeah, in general, you still need to be able to hear things going on around you. So in general, I'm the type of person who likes to rush a lot. So most of my classes will have the knife on it, and I'll actually explain a little bit more about that in a later tip. Yeah, I use things like subsonic, I use suppressors on my SMGs because it makes them perfect for flanking. I usually use the lower kill streaks, not necessarily lower kill streaks, but the one that allow me to keep running and gunning. So I like to use dogs in Vanguard, the War Machine in Cold War. I usually use the UAVs and the personal UAVs and things like that. Armor in Cold War is fantastic, so a lot of these stuff to kind of keep on going. I would also recommend using the attachments such as lengthened in Vanguard or the added bullet velocity barrels in Cold War. So the reason I recommend this is because basically Call of Duty works off a projectile system and not a hit scan, like for example Halo would. I guess in out of sentence, if you have low velocity on a gun, if somebody is further away from you, it'll be hard to hit them because your bullets aren't moving fast enough. So if you use lengthened, which adds an extra +3 on bullet velocity, that is, yeah, it's huge. So next up, we have got learn rush routes and timings. So like I mentioned before, I usually use the knife, and this is because you have the fastest movement speed in all of the recent editions of Call of Duty. So I usually use stims in all my classes, and also it has an extra benefit in Modern Warfare and Vanguard because it actually refreshes your tactical sprint. So that means that you can get to where you want to go even faster, which is amazing. In Cold War, there's this little shimmy glitch you can do where you basically run and you stop, and then you run and then you stop, and if you use the E tool, then you're actually moving insanely fast. So what I usually do when a new map comes out is I'll rush left, I'll rush right, I'll rush center, on each side, attacking and defending, and I'll figure out where I meet up with people. That's just my way of learning it. I guess it's the easiest way, and it's the way that makes the most sense to me. Yeah, figuring out this early when you know map allows you to expect when people will come around the corner, and this will instantly get you more kills. Now we're on to the good stuff. Tip number 3. Don't push the same way twice. This might seem obvious, but everybody does it. If you have a gunfight with somebody and you lose, you're more likely to want to go back and try and get revenge on that guy. If you win, and you're also going to be probably more confident. So you'll see in this clip, so yeah, I went ahead and I got the kill on him in the first round, and then the next round I did the exact same thing, and you'll see I'm actually 1 kill off dogs. I shouldn't have been here. I should have went somewhere else. And in fact, the thing is that I was throwing a grenade, which makes it even more frustrating. I could have went anywhere else that's had a line of sight to this spot, thrown a grenade, and this guy was still standing there. You can see I actually did get the kill afterwards as well. He was just ready for me, and it was silly. Switch it up. You have to switch it up. You don't need to necessarily go a completely different side of the map. Just don't go to the exact same spot. Just switch it up a little bit every time, and maybe later on you can go back there. Don't do it twice in a row. They're going to be ready for you. They're going to be waiting. Tip number 4, the essential one. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I know this is actually a real tip, because if you do subscribe, then you'll get to see all of my rush routes, all of my tactics, all of my class setups, and it'll just help you in general to get better at the game. But don't worry, I do have 5 actual tips. So the real tip number 4 is pay attention to your minimap. It's essential. This is relevant for all game modes, but in my opinion, it especially applies to search and destroy. If you're playing solo with no callouts, you need to be aware of where your teammates are at. Usually you can rely on your teammates if they're behind you or if they're covering a certain area. I say usually. I get shot in the back pretty frequently, and it's super annoying, especially when you can see a teammate in that area. But yeah, usually you can depend on them. As a rule of thumb, if your teammate is not there, you can always assume that an enemy is. So this way you're always prepared for a gunfight. You're not just running around like a fool, and you are pre-aiming a corner, whatever. I think this one especially applies to veteran search and destroy players, and you're going to be thinking when I first say it, what are you talking about? But hear me out. Tip number 5, plant the bomb. So many good players, they just run around just getting kills, and they get frustrated because they run around a corner and somebody is in the most random spot, and it's frustrating, of course. You know, this happens to everybody. But if you plant the bomb, you're forcing the enemy team to make the play, and the situations are going to be way less random. It's not just 12 people or whatever amount of people in the lobby running around like headless chickens, and the better player will actually come out on top. And if you are the one to plant the bomb, you'll be able to position yourself, you'll get more kills, and they'll all come to you. Simple, right? So yeah, this was a slightly different video than I would normally do, but I hope it was enjoyable for you. And yeah, if you did enjoy it, then please refer to my tip number 4, fake one. And yeah, like I said at the beginning, I upload both search and destroy for Vanguard and for Cold War. So if that is your kind of thing, then yeah, make sure to hit that sub button. And yeah, hopefully at least one of these tips were helpful for you. So 2 things. If you made it this far to the end, let me know in the comments below. I appreciate you. And if you have any tips yourself, also drop a comment. Anyway, thanks for listening to my rambling. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.